Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Dave in Kentucky. Got some coffee. Gonna have a shave. Today we are using Prairie Rum Runner by MacDuff's soaps. So it's obviously a bay rum take. They've got West Indies bay tobacco. Can't quite make that out. Lime, wild orange, ginger, and allspice. So I also was generously gifted to me this enormous limited edition bottle of Thor's Bay Rum, which I've tried. Great Bay Rum scent. Don't ask me to break it down, 'cause I'm not good with breaking down scent. It's a good Bay Rum to me. Like most Bay Rums, it doesn't have a lot of longevity. Also, they sent this bottle of the Thor's Bay Rum Lime, and that's what we're going to use today since there's a little lime in the MacDuff soap. I'm going to whip things up. And I was going to say, MacDuff's is usually pretty soft. When I got it, I was like, having to use my bowl and didn't care for that. It's actually, as it sat, firmed up some more. So we're going to load from the tub, whether that's a good idea or not. Anyway, Jay Spartan on some forums. I don't see him on DFS anymore, but he gifted me this nice handle, and the light's not going to do it justice. It's got a lot of nice variations, knot in it and so forth. Probably some acrylic or whatever filled in where it had some gaps, and it's got a cashmere knot in it. And I'm going to use my Titanium Vector as was requested, I think yesterday or the day before. Yesterday was a rough day for me, long day, and I am extremely sore, but we're going to push through, do a video, because we're going to shave anyway, right? Doesn't take any effort to push the camera button on. Alright, let me wet my face and get some soap in. And yes, I've got the beginnings of a mustache here. I always try to grow one. Comes in nice and full, starts irritating me, and then I quit. But I have such some skin condition, the redness and stuff I get around my mouth and across my eyebrows, and when that starts to get sore and red, not from shaving, it's just dryness in the air, it pushes me to want to grow something and not have to agitate it with a blade. When people ask you, a little kid comes up, what's it real red around your mouth for? Thanks, kid. I'll grow a mustache. All right. Let's set that aside and we'll start lathering. Once we get lathered up, we will share some information about the Vector. I think most are familiar with it. It's been around for a while now, and it's an amazing razor. But to explain the Vector, I've got to talk about the Blackland Blackbird. I had tried a brass one, stainless steel one. Could I shave with it? Yes. Was it enjoyable? No, it was too efficient for me. I'm a daily shaver, not taking down multiple days growth ever, so it was more than I needed. When the titanium came out way back when, everybody was raving about it and the difference in it, and I was thinking, come on, the metal can't make that big of a difference going from stainless to titanium. Ended up borrowing someone's and trying it. There was something to the hype, and I immediately bought one because it made a huge difference to me. And you start reading about titanium and you find out the softer metal gives a softer face feel, and it just maybe it affects your technique to some extent. I don't know. But I got better shaves with it. I don't have one still. It's kind of a love-hate thing I have. Hate to spend that much money on a razor, and but then I have on others. So, but I've bought and sold 3 or 4 of the Blackbirds titanium, and I would get another one probably at the right price. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you that is I got along with the Vector immediately when I first used one, and so I didn't see the need to go to a titanium. But then for some reason, I'd let go of my Vector stainless steel, and then I was thinking, you know what, I should borrow, and Main Youper, Eric, I believe, loaned me his. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get one. I had an opportunity to get one with a stand that is polished titanium, which is not available anymore from Blackland, and this was polished by Blackland. So happy to have that. The differences in them. This is off their site because they don't give you the specs. Shane didn't like getting into blade gap, exposure, and stuff, so he would just give you performance ratings on his site. You can find it. So for the stainless steel, he has the efficiency at 7 out of 10, and the same for the titanium. Blade feel, blade feel, he has 5 out of 10 for the stainless steel, 4.5 out of 10 for the titanium, and that's probably due to the metal. The weight difference is obvious too. 77 grams on stainless steel, 44 grams on titanium. Smoothness he has for the titanium 8.5 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 for the stainless steel. So again, I'm assuming that's due to the metal making it feel smoother, but the geometry is identical. So let's go ahead and get on with some shaving here. So to me, it's just a great shave. And one, if I sell ever, which I have with the Vectors too, so I need to get this MacDuff more hydrated. It's not rinsing off the razor real well. I don't like to leave it sticking to it. Anyway, I'll always have one in the den probably. Now, I'm not going to get into the controversy about the copies that China makes. They don't respect patent laws. And I don't know, I've tried to research it and I've not found it anywhere. I don't know that Shane even has a patent on it. Does that make it okay for someone else to, you know, take advantage of your work, your research and development and producing something? Well, ethically it's not right, but it's legal if someone doesn't have a patent. I don't know the situation. If someone does, not if you have an opinion on it, but if you know for a fact there's a patent on it, let us know. But we all know China is constantly copying razors. They often start with Zamac, etc., chrome plating it, about the greatest metal. And there were a lot of iterations of things that could have been attributed to the Vector copying it. And they kept fine-tuning it because none of them compared. I had recently read someone stating that the Romulus, Yaqi Romulus, they were going on and on about it being smoother than the Vector and more efficient. And so I wanted to get one, just to compare at that point, only because they had a ridiculous sale on it, and it was not Zamac. It states it's, I forget which, but it's stainless steel machined. And I think I got it with a couple razor cases all for total shipped for like 50 bucks or something. So, you know, I wanted to give it a shot. Mine is off with another member or two to try it out now, that Romulus. I used it. Again, not getting into the debate on whether it's appropriate to purchase copies of another person's thing. They were both available and I wanted to try them, period. To me, as far as smoothness, they were basically almost identical, I think. The geometry looked a little different, or maybe it's the shape it's making, playing with my eyes. Looked a little different, but obviously they've used the flat post coming through the razor blade on the Artist Club blade to give it the thinness that others have not done yet. But I've never seen that done on the razor before, Blacklands. I don't know if he was the first, if you go back through vintages or not. But I've seen it used in other applications out of the shaving world. So it's not like it's the first time it's ever been done. And someone else could have come up with it eventually. So again, I don't know if there's a patent on it or not. So staying away from all that. Obviously much cheaper. Available in stainless steel. Does it replace the Vector for me? No. Fortunately, I have one. Plan on holding on to it. But just putting it out there because I don't know if I'll do a video on that one or not. I'm just kind of have mixed feelings about doing a video on it. Not saying anything's wrong, not judging anybody, just not sure I'm willing to or not. So let's focus on the Vector. Where are we at here? Yeah. It's, you know, it's near mindless shave. Maybe not when you first get it. There's obviously some blade feel. Some people find it rough, they say. There's a Feather Pro blade in this. I think I've used Pro lines in this. Not all of them take Pro lines. Shane has stated that their machining has remained true to what it is. So the razor blade manufacturer, Schick, their pin might be a little off or something now when they're producing them, and so some do not accept the Pro line. So, but like I said, I think this one accepts them. It's one of the earlier produced Vectors, or maybe it's just because I have earlier produced Pro lines. But there's a Schick or a Feather Pro blade, unguarded. And I get very smooth shaves of it. If your skin's not taut, it can grab and catch something, so because there is some exposure, clearly, but keep your skin taut, maintain the angle, which some may have, I'm assuming maybe some have trouble with that because of how thin the head is. I mean, it's just so thin and maneuverable, and that's what the Vector is notorious for. So if you're not paying attention, obviously you can lose the angle. But it's not been an issue for me. So why did I tell you about the metals and the tremendous difference for the Blackbird for me? Because going from the stainless steel to the titanium on the Vector, to me, it's less of a gap in difference. I was fine with the stainless steel version. Obviously the titanium feels a little softer, more comfortable in the face, but the shave aspect is not as stark a contrast between the stainless steel and the titanium as it was for me with the Blackbird. Reason I tell you that is because if money, the cost is a little bit of an issue, that $100 difference, you may be fine with the stainless steel and not need to spend that extra 100 or so to go to the titanium. Boy, MacDuff makes a great soap. Great base. You get a nice, when you're loading, glue-like consistency, and then hydrate it until you get it where you want. I like that in a soap. I just don't like how soft it is. That's my issue. Fortunately, this one is firmed up enough that I can tub load it now, so I think I'll keep it in the den. And have a few of theirs, and I don't know if they've all firmed up that much or not, but all right, little witch hazel here. Put it on a little on this redness up here on my eyebrows, which I get this dry flaking off of it, and creams from the doctor don't seem to cure that, and he indicated it probably wouldn't, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't feel like going to a skin specialist, dermatologist, whatever you call them. Enough other issues I'm dealing with, like the CPAP I'm fighting with now. So anyway, these things, it came with two gentlemen. Mike, thank you, Detailed Vino, sent these to me, and he's got two corks too. They came in bags. I'm assuming maybe you're supposed to use those. Now that my hand's wet, these things are on here like unbelievable. You'll hear it squeezing out the synthetic cork, trying to get it off without popping it and spilling everything. There. All right, so there's cork. Huge opening. Requires a thumb. Where are we at? Almost 20 minutes. Gonna wrap it up here quick. All right. Yeah, same nice bay rum with the lime added to it. Very nice. I will say too, I've seen these Thor's Hammer and considered getting the bay rum, but never did. It just kind of looked chintzy, the label on them. They're actually a lot better quality glass that it's in, and label, and all waterproof and all. So if you like bay rums, give them a shot if you'd like. It's a nice splash too. It doesn't feel oily or clog you up or anything. So anyway, there you go. That's my thoughts on my titanium Vector. For the gentleman that asked, I don't think I can remember what his screen name on there was, and I don't think it contained an actual name. Can't remember, but hope that helps you with your decision as to what you're looking at getting there. But next week I'm going to get on to what I wanted to use this week. Just threw this one in because it was requested, and I always say that if someone knows of a razor I have, vintage or modern, if I have it, you'd like to see a shave with it because there's not been one done recently, shout out at me, ask me to, and I'll try to do that, try to accommodate people. But next week I'm going to get on to the firm blade, which is I was hoping to use today. So I've used it before. I know shaving with peg leg, Scott's used it, and so you may have seen it, but some may not have. Had a lot of new subscribers recently, and thank you all. Appreciate everybody. Be kind, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the forum.